This question is an excellent Desmos opportunity. So we're given a chart that is a bunch of points, right? So a table of points. And then they're asking for us to create the equation, right? The table shows two values of x and their corresponding values of y. The graph of the linear equation representing this relationship passes through the point 1/4 a. What is the value of a? So I can't, this other point is random. I don't know how I would ever get that. But if I had the equation, it wouldn't matter, right? If I had the equation of this line, then I would know literally every single point on the line. I can just plug and chug. So the best way to take points and turn them into an equation often is to let Desmos do it for us using the regression feature. This is going to work best when the equation we're looking for is a very standard type of equation. Y equals mx plus b is the most standard equation there is. So we're going to hit this plus here in the top, in the middle left here, and we're going to get a table, and we're going to make the exact same table they have. So -12, and the y is -45, and the other x is 6, and then 45. And you see how to the left of that, there's kind of a line with a bunch of dots around it. That button right there is going to make a regression. It defaults to a linear regression. So there it is. Y equals 5x plus 15. And to be clear, you could have gotten that manually. You could have used these 2 points to calculate the slope using the slope formula. Then you could have created a y equals mx plus b equation where you don't know the b, but then you plug in the slope that you found plus one of the points and solve for b, and there you go. You'd end up in this exact same place. But certainly this was easier, and as long as I type everything right, there's really no way to mess it up. So what now? Well, you could just type in the 1/4, but I'm going to show you another way. I don't know. For me, this feels more comfortable. I like to hit the button that's right above the 5x plus 15 there. That kind of like, I don't know what you'd say. It's like a copy thing. And it gives me the equation. And then I like to just turn into a function. So I'm going to turn this into f of x. And now I can plug into the equation since I need the 1/4. For me, this feels really nice. I just feel like it's easier for me to go, okay, what is f of 1/4? Since that's the x value, I can just solve. So 16.25, that's the answer. I'm done. You could, there's another way to do it, is even without this piece here, you could just do x equals 1/4, which is going to give you a vertical line. Then you can scroll and you can zoom if you really want. But either way, you're going to be able to tap that point. You can see, okay, when the x is 1/4, 0.25, the y is 16.25. That's all good. You could do that too. I just, for me, sometimes scrolling ends up taking a long time, so I get annoyed by it. The other thing you could do is if you wanted to represent 16.25 as a fraction, you could just tap the fraction button there, and 65/4 is also fine for you to enter into the student-produced response box. But yeah, this is definitely how I do in the test. I'm using the regression. This is a perfect opportunity for that. It is a useful feature. Your handheld graphing calculator probably also has a regression feature, but there's a lot of buttons you got to push and it's kind of hard to navigate. Desmos makes it super simple. So watch my lesson on that if you need to. It is a very useful tool, including in cases where the equation they want us to build doesn't fit these kind of standard versions that are included in this like automatic feature. So you should be familiar with how to be flexible with it. I do go over that in that lesson, but most of the time, especially a line or a quadratic, you're going to be able to just use the default options that they give us.